There's but one name I've heard frequently for the last couple of months, and that's Ben. A large number of people have messaged me and requested that I do a Gaming Mysteries on the Ben Creepypasta because they're either too scared to look it up themselves, want to hear my take on it, or just love the sound of my voice, which I hope it's the last one because I could use a self-esteem boost. Yeah. Now, some may say, oh, fuck this shit. I already know the truth, and so does most everyone else. I hate you, Yuriofwind. Talk about Half-Life 2. And look, I will. Don't be so fucking hostile. Anyways, I will talk about Half-Life 2 someday, but not today. To appease those who have requested, today on Gaming Mysteries, I talk about the Ben Majora's Mask Creepypasta. Now, the way I'm going to structure this video is, first I'll give you guys a rundown on some key factors to this creepypasta. Then I'll present a slightly shortened version of the first part of this very long story of Ben, as I feel that first portion of the story will give everyone a good idea of what's going on. If you want to read more of it, there will be a link in the description. Then at the very end of the video, I'll give the truth and my final thoughts on the matter. Now, for those of you unaware, this is the story of Jerusalem and his experiences with a haunted copy of The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. The game was allegedly possessed by a, quote, omnipotent and sadistic entity named Ben. Said entity taking his name from a boy who allegedly drowned, and he has the ability to possess various electronic devices like game cartridges and computers. How convenient. All the messed up events that take place within the haunted game are caused by Ben, and Ben himself is represented by a Link statue that appears when one plays the song Elegy of Emptiness from Majora's Mask. The events of this story are presented not only through text, but a number of videos posted on YouTube. Some posted by the storyteller, others allegedly posted by other entities, so if you're interested in seeing those, well, I'm gonna play them in the video. So you're going to see them there, but you can also look them up online, and the link to those will be in the description. And now that we have all the basics you need to know out of the way, let's get into the first part of the story. Now, the story begins with Jerusalem, and he posted a thread on 4chan about his alleged experiences with this haunted copy of Majora's Mask. He apparently obtained the game from an old man who gave him the cartridge for free. The old man said that the game had belonged to a kid who didn't live here anymore. Oh, and Yuriofwind pro tip, if a creepy old man tries to give you a video game, run! Anyways, when he went to go play the game, he noticed that there was already a save file under the name Ben. He ignored it and created a new save file, but through the course of his playthrough, the game's characters would refer to him as Ben at various moments. To try and fix this problem, he deleted the Ben save file, but this caused the characters to not refer to him by name at all. He put the game down for a bit and began playing more later on. During this time period, he attempted the 4th day glitch, and if you don't know what that is, just Google it real quick. After succeeding in performing the glitch, something was amiss, as he had somehow been transported to the Majora's boss fight room at the end of the game, with Skull Kid hovering above him, and there was no sound except for the background music. For some reason, this guy got panicked and went for the reset button, but as he did, a text box appeared on the screen saying, "You're not sure why, but you apparently had a reservation." Ooh. And that's a message that you got from Anju at the inn. Now, he ignored the notion of a video game trying to communicate with him because, compared to everything else, that's just crazy. He searched around the boss room and seconds later received another message stating, "Go to the lair of the temple's boss?" with the options of yes or no. No wasn't a selectable option though, so he went with yes, and he was presented with the words, "Dawn of a new day," with the subtext of lines, "That's my favorite day." The player apparently appeared in a, quote, weird Twilight Zone version of Clocktown. He walked around and found that all of its citizens were gone, and to quote again, what replaced them was the ominous feeling that there was something out there watching him, almost as if it was himself watching the TV screen. The player personally felt like he was in danger. And the most chilling thing about all this was that the music was the song of healing. Okay, well, that's not actually scary, but it was just playing in reverse in a constant loop, and that is kind of scary. On top of all this, he apparently could hear the happy mask salesman's laugh in the background every once in a while, and I will fold on that. That is some scary shit. I fucking hate him. So yeah, basically, the town was fucked up, creepy music, everyone is gone, textures were screwed up, he couldn't leave Clockdown, and this dude was scared shitless. But he came up with a plan. This is gonna go good. And the plan is that if he went to the laundry pool and drowned himself, he could spawn somewhere else and leave the area. Foolproof plan. I like the way this is going. So he ran towards the pool and it happened. You know what I'm saying. Link apparently grabbed his head like a crazy person, and the screen flashed for a moment, showing the happy mask salesman, that creepy fuck, and he was smiling. Bastard. Skull Kid's scream playing in the background. It was a really horrible experience. And when the screen returned, he was staring at the Link statue that appears when you play the Elegy of Emptiness. And no, you're not just imagining it. That statue is incredibly creepy. What the fuck is your problem, Nintendo? The player, scared, he ran away. To his horror, the statue was following or chasing him. I'm turning this into a really dramatic scenario, so if anyone catches on to that, kudos to you. The player tried to escape the statue, but it would appear right behind him every time. Link apparently started making weird animations, such as flailing his arms around or spasming randomly, and the screen would cut to the happy mask salesman smiling, before cutting back to the statue again. This and the other weird shit continued until eventually he was warped to an underground tunnel, and the statue appeared behind him yet again, though it was more aggressive, as it appeared behind him at a faster rate. And as he made his way out of the tunnel, a Redead screamed, and then the screen faded to black as Dawn of the New Day and lines appeared again. This is a really compelling story. This is good. Oh, my sarcasm is lost on everyone. Anyways, this time the game faded back in. He was on top of the clock tower with the Skull Kid hovering above him again. The player began to shoot at the Skull Kid with his bow and managed to hit him a few times. And, in retaliation, as per his right, a text box apparently popped up saying, "That won't do you any good. Hee hee." The player was then quoted. This is what happened. This is a quoted scenario. He was picked up off the ground, levitated upwards on his back, and then Link screamed and burst into flames. Festive. Now the player attempted this sequence a few more times, and on his third and final time, he remembered that when you first encounter Skull Kid in the actual game, you play the Song of Time to travel back in time. So he attempted to do this, and on the last note, Link burst into flames. Again. Festive. This time when the death screen neared its end, the game began to chug, as if it was trying to process a lot of something. When the screen came through, it was the same as the other times, with Skull Kid hovering above him, but this time Link was lying on the ground, dead, in a position that the player had never seen before. And after 30 seconds of staring at Link's lifeless body, a message popped up saying, "You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?" And then he was taken back to the title screen. Back at the title screen though, the player noticed something. His file titled Link was gone, and has been replaced with Your Turn. He selected this new file, and it was the Skull Kid scene again, and it had Skull Kid laughing over and over again, so the player reset the game and started the game yet again. And this time, below Your Turn, there was another save file under the title of Ben. The exact same save file he had deleted at the start of all this. Scared shitless, the player then decided to turn off the game, and that's where we'll end this story time. As I said, if you want to read all of it, the link is in the description. So what we have is a copy of Majora's Mask that's allegedly possessed by an unworldly being that has the ability to possess various electronic devices and cause lots of creepy shit to occur. And the thought on everyone's mind is, well, Yuriofwind, what's the truth? You know, I'm too scared to look it up. I haven't. So just lay it on me. Don't pull any punches. Is it real? Tell me, Yuriofwind. No. No, it's not real. Yes, I understand this is extremely anticlimactic for a lot of you. Now one may say, wait just a second, Yuriofwind. How can you say it's not real with such confidence? And you see, the author admitted that the whole thing was fake. So, there you go. The story's just a story. A good story, mind you, but still just a story, and one that I personally don't find very plausible. Of course, I'm not one to believe in ghosts or any of that kind of shit, so the idea of a possessed game cartridge is automatically written off in my mind as something that's false, along with Bigfoot, the usefulness of math in real life, and the idea of Capcom being in good company. But wait, Yuriofwind! By the way, you're really fucking persistent. You've been showing footage during this entire video that shows the events of this creepypasta taking place. Clearly it is real! I'm staying by this! No, it's not. The author made that, to my knowledge. It's just a hacked version of Majora's Mask. And again, with what I said about the story, it's good, very well done, and it goes so much farther than any other creepypasta out there, which I applaud to no end, but the events taking place in the footage, and text for that matter, are fabricated and nothing supernatural is actually occurring. Now this truth is easily obtainable, which made me ask the question of why people are so scared of this subject. Because looking at it as a whole, I don't really see where their fear is coming from, unless they somehow didn't know the truth already and didn't want to look it up because they fear screamers, which is completely understandable. The internet is an asshole, I get it, blah blah blah. But, like, mute your audio, and then boom, no issue, no screamers. Mute the audio, problem solved. That is a pro tip that you can use for free. You're welcome. But that's Ben. For the few of you who didn't know the truth of this, well, I'm sure this has been a very disappointing experience. And to everyone else, well, this has probably still been a very disappointing experience. Even so, it was good to get it done with. See, now we can talk about men games. Real unreleased classics like Steven Seagal is the final option for the Super Nintendo. And I know what you're thinking, that sounds ridiculous. That can't be real. It's real. And no, I'm not going to talk about it. It sounds terrible. So on that note, this has been Gaming Mysteries. Thanks for watching.